My name is Joe Cronin. You are listening to The Joe Cronin Show, and now you can see my ass. You're about to hear some wrestling news. You're about to hear some hardcore truth. You're about to hear the show that pretty much everybody wants to hear unless they don't know about it. And if you're not down with that, then I got two words for you. Stroke it. I don't care. They won't monetize that. You know what? So it doesn't matter. I want to shout out first one of the sponsors, GamesDeal.com. Are you guys going to get games? You want to get a game that's coming out tomorrow or the next day or whenever the hell? GamesDeal.com. $33 for Morrowind. Or Morrowind, or what's the name of the game? Morrowind. I keep burying that name. Only 3 days left to get the deal. $33 plus Xbox Live. You know, down from $60-something to $45. There's all kinds of crazy deals on GamesDeal.com. So check them out. The link is in the description box down below. Use my link right there. Special promotion for you guys available. It changes and varies, but there's always something good going on. So check it out. You'll save a bunch. And then guess what? I'll get credit when you use the links from the affiliate. And I want to shout out GamesDeal.com because they sent me this freaking Xbox One controller. It's a white one. That's right. That's right. It's a white controller. You bunch of racists. Here we go. Let's see. Let's open up this privileged fucking controller right now. Oh my God. Oh my God in heaven. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, it's still got some black on it. Look at that. Oh, this is nice looking. I'm going to play some games. If you guys didn't watch my video from last night, we were supposed to play Friday the 13th. We were supposed to play it. Here's the deal. Friday the 13th, the developers, the publishers, everybody planned for the game to be out at midnight. That's right, midnight on Xbox One. Okay? 8 a.m. for PlayStation. 8 a.m. for PlayStation, but midnight, 12 a.m. for Xbox. What do you guys think happened? What do you think happened, guys? You know good old Xbox just couldn't let anything go off without a hitch, right? Good old Xbox. So I was streaming for 3 hours last night, getting ready to hack those kids up as Jason. I wanted to drown someone in a freaking lake, and that never happened because it never came up. So around, well, I knew it would never come up, actually. So what happened is around 1 a.m., I started getting pissed off that we couldn't play Friday the 13th, and I tweeted this out that kind of went a little bit viral here, and I got a lot of new followers. Shout out to all the new gaming followers who got a kick out of this shit. But I had to bury Xbox. By the way, Xbox would go on to release a report, or to tweet out, rather, something like, oh, we're looking into it. We know there's a problem with the game propagating in people's Xbox gaming library or being available in the store. It's like, no shit, dude. Anyway, here's the tweet. Man, talk about a lot of freaking 74 retweets and 179 likes.
And you stay up all night and Yo, Xbox, remember when you didn't suck ass? Remember when you had midnight releases and I bought a game and I went home and I threw it in and I played it? That was awesome. Hey, Xbox, remember when you had a midnight release and you could download the game, and when you downloaded it, you could play it, and the servers didn't suck? Yeah, I remember that too. Hey, Xbox, remember when I guarantee you in the morning PlayStation has their version available of this shit, but you don't, and then you stay up all night and you plan around shit to play a game, and then you can't play it because you remember that Xbox went to shit the minute they made a stupid system called Xbox One, which was the dumbest name in the world and the dumbest thing in the world. And if I worked for Xbox, you would have made $1 billion more than you made. Remember that? I do, because I'm 32 and I got one of the oldest Xbox gamer tags there is. I remember when you called Xbox Live and they were like, hey, how can I help you with that? Let's get right on that. Now you call Xbox Live and they're like, what I want you to do is turn off your Xbox. Yeah, me and my fucking thousands of people here and millions
like
and millions of listeners and streamers and fans are just kind of sitting here wondering, you know, maybe we could just, I mean, I could drink this bottle of Malibu, maybe. I could drink that, see if I don't wake up. I could drink this Canada Dry right here, I don't know. Or I could take this Xbox controller and stuff it up my...
Well, there you have it. There's the tweet I sent out that went somewhat viral. Not viral, but, I mean, Well, it was retweeted a lot by other people that weren't my listeners, so because it was like 2 in the morning. So what happened this morning? It still wasn't up for Xbox. Unbelievable. But now I guess it is up. It finally is up now. And not only that, but the way to get around it this morning was to go into somebody who had the game already, and then you could download it by going to their achievements. How pathetic is that? How pathetic is that? But anyway, the long and the short of it is, if you guys are gaming and you want to download games and buy games and stuff like that, gamesdeal.com. Link is in the description below. Check them out. Use my link, and I will get credit. It's a way to support the show. Now, let's talk about wrestling news, which is why we're really here. A little bit of a spat between Jeffrey Bravo and Baron Corbin, who says, I don't get Baron Corbin's sex appeal that women love. Y'all love the balding, kinda in shape, lost look in the eyes look, laughing my ass off. So Jeffrey talking some shit about Corbin and how bald he is, or balding he's going. I don't know. He's not going, I mean, he's balding a little bit, but it's not, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm sensitive because I'm balding. But if we scroll down, we'll see what Baron Corbin's response to that was, which was, I don't get how you call yourself a pro wrestler. Wrestling for chips and maybe $5 just makes you a pretend wrestler. Big difference. Wow. I mean, what did Corbin... So, I mean, this is really offensive coming from Corbin, I think, because, I mean, he got him, because that's pretty offensive, because I think Corbin just walked into wrestling and trained, and that was it. You know what I mean? He didn't work the independents like many of these other guys have. You know, if I was AJ Styles and I read that, I would punch Corbin right in the dick, to be honest. But whatever. Then he responded, apparently enough of somebody to elicit a response, he wrote. And I didn't even tag you. Have a great day, brother. And that's all that happened. That's all that happened. It seemed pretty lame. I don't know. Maybe I should comment on Corbin. Maybe I should tweet out Corbin, ask him if he has any pubes. The great leader has DM'd me, and he has DM'd me the devil owl. That's right. The ugly fucking owl fuck has been sent to me. Look at this. Have you ever seen a company so petty? Have you ever seen a place so shitty? I mean, you couldn't run a business any worse at this point than what they have done. This has to all be a joke, right? Like, this really has to be a joke. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Matt Hardy, thank you so much for making me feel great today. I can't show the rest of the DM, obviously, but Matt Hardy, thank you for making my day great. We will post this indeed, sir. The great leader has spoken. He has sent me the devil himself, the ugly owl, the owl that needs to be deleted. Even the claws are mangled of the owl. I can smell the stench of the owl and the fungus from its feet. I can taste the cancerous skin cells that would peel off the face of the burning skull. I see the yellow in the teeth and the unfit nature of the cheekbones. The devilish eyes that would even drill a hole in his own mother if she stared too long. I don't know what I'm saying. My God, is this fucking thing ugly? How much of Ed Norholm? I mean, can you... If you were Impact Wrestling at this point, wouldn't you just be like, fucking take the thing, you know what I mean? Just take it. Just leave it alone. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, maybe, obviously some people would say, why would they do that when they own it? When people, people that think that they own it, that own it. The bottom line is, whatever owns whatever at this point, and thank you to Matt for killing me today with that photo. Whoever owns whoever, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, I'm covering this shit, and I'm a fan, right? So I'm going to be pissed off no matter what. You're talking about a company that is done wrong by so many people and so many wrestlers. All the wrong that they were doing and all the wrong that was happening at the time. And the Hardys go out of their way to say, forget money, forget this, forget that. We're going to put up our own money, dude. We're going to put up our own money. We're going to come up with creative ideas on our own with maybe some other people involved, like Jeremy Borash and such. I don't know. And we're going to come up with this thing, and we're going to do it for you, no matter what. It doesn't matter. We just want everybody to do better. That's why we're doing it, because we have a good heart. And, you know, for all the people that you work with and the company to say, we understand, that's great. You can use it. You can do whatever you want. It's yours. Wow, we appreciate what you're doing. No problem. You know what I mean? And then everybody's on the same page, and then you do it. Then all of a sudden, imagine that all those people that told you, no problem, go ahead and do it, and you're doing the right thing, and thanks for helping us. All of a sudden, they leave, right? And a third party comes in and says, yeah, we own that. I own that. How pissed off would you be? Because you did something in agreement with somebody else who owned the company and had all to do with the company. You gave your own money, your own creativity, in order to fund and hold a function for something, with the understanding that obviously you're going to be able to go and use it on your own. The payback for the Hardys. See, it's very, very easy to understand. And I know I'm upstairs in the bedroom, so this is a weird setting, and I'm doing this up here. But it's very easy to understand that the Hardys were stabbed in the back in this way. You're under the agreement that, listen, we are going to fund this ourselves, perhaps put some of our own money on the line, put our own time on the line, put our own family on the line, just to benefit you, the company, and our fellow wrestlers, and to benefit ourselves too. But here's the payoff for the Hardys. We're going to give you all this to do and all this ability, but now the Hardys get to use it on the independent scene. That was the payoff for the Hardys. You know, because when their stock went way up, they probably got way more bookings. They probably got paid more bookings. They drew bigger crowds. The Hardys were able to, I believe, take advantage of this drastically. So that was their payoff. But it was also to help Impact Wrestling and to help their co-workers and to help everybody. And for everyone to understand, yes, this is yours, though, and you're doing it on our television show, but there won't be a problem, don't worry. And then all of a sudden to have the people that told you it was okay, so you've already filmed it, you've already aired it, you've already paid your money for it, you've already agreed with your fellow workers and bosses that, you know, you'll have this creative ability and creative control and creative ownership perhaps over all this. You've already agreed on all of it, and it's already aired, it's already been done, you've already given it. And now to have someone else come in and say, oh no, we own that. Well, you weren't even here when we set out to do this. You weren't here to own this. You might have bought something, but you didn't buy this because there was different circumstances set up. Now, however that falls in legal perspective, I don't know, to be honest. I have no clue, and honestly, most of the people that might comment on this, I don't think you know either. And nobody knows right now with what's going on, because this is incredible. This is unprecedented territory. And again, I've said this a million times. Don't give me comparisons of Cody Rhodes and people not being able to use their names and stuff like that, because they were in WWE using something. They knew what they were using in WWE. It wasn't like Cody Rhodes put up his own money. That's where I have a problem here. See, if there was no such thing, that if Hardy only came up with some of the ideas, and that was it, and everything else was TNA funding, TNA writing crews, all that stuff, I would say then pretty much beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is not Matt Hardy's. But that's not how it is. The fact of the matter is the Hardys came up with, I believe, most of this stuff. And the bigger part for me is they put up their own money. That is the problem. That is where it changes for me. They put up their own money, time, land, whatever, family. That's where it makes it really personal for me. And I know, how can you get more personal than the Rhodes name? And how can you get more personal than, you know, the Dudleys coming to WWE and then eventually leaving and can't use Dudleys? I get it, but those people came. They didn't give up money. They didn't try to. This would be the equivalent. The closest thing I can draw to this is Shawn Michaels. Do you remember when everyone was jumping ship on the WWE? I never did. I watched WCW a little bit, but I always wanted them to fail. I was a huge WWF kid. That's all I cared about. And Shawn Michaels was always my favorite wrestler, from before to during to after to now that he's retired. He's just always going to be my favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels. And as a kid, when WCW finally went out of business, it meant so much to me that Shawn Michaels never went over there. He never jumped ship. This guy stayed there. He was getting paid less, all that stuff. And he stayed here. And he went out there to bust his ass to do it for all the people, for himself, probably for the glory, maybe so he could be number one on his own. I don't know what he did, but I respect the fact that he never left the company. And that is somebody, Shawn Michaels, that I would be enraged about if this guy had been unable to do certain things if he left, because he really gave it to the WWE. But Shawn Michaels never put up his own money to produce scenes and segments and shows. Shawn Michaels never went on a, you know what I mean? It's different. So it's even more personal with the Hardys. It's more personal to Matt Hardy, to Jeff Hardy, to Rebby, and to everybody else, to the whole family, and to everybody. And it's to the fans. It's personal to the damn fans, too. That's the problem. That's what Impact doesn't understand. I swear to God, Jeff Jarrett is not a moron. He has to know what's going on. But for Jeff Jarrett to come out the other day and say 2016 was an embarrassment, Jeff has been on my show. Jeff is on, he might be on drugs. What are you talking about? 2016 was an embarrassment? 2016 was a save. It was a savior. 2016 was a fucking lifeboat. It was a life preserver. The ship was sinking. Can you imagine this? The ship sinks. The Hardy Boys come by, and they throw out all of their life preservers to save everybody. Right? I mean, it's just... And everybody, it's not just the Hardys. It was everybody that was working hard in that company. They had an all-star cast, as far as I'm concerned. They were hitting on a level that was beautiful. And that's all gone now. It's really gone. EC3 is a great talent. Eli Drake is a great talent. Rosemary, I love her. And there's obviously a few other people that I'm not mentioning that are great as well. But the point is, when Hardy was there, you were talking about the Hardys and Bennett and Eli Drake and EC3, and everybody, dude, was hitting on all cylinders. And Moose, I mean, just everybody was hitting on all cylinders, and it was like everybody was complimenting everybody. It was like the Attitude Era, not to the extent of the Attitude Era, I don't think, but it was very similar. You could see the guys working for each other. I want to try to one-up you, and I want to do better. And it was just awesome. And now that I watch Impact now, and it's like, it's a mess. Dude, it's like WCW 2000. It is back to, it has regressed. How did it go from that regression so quickly? It all started with the Hardys leaving, though. And then Anthem Sports, and then it was just another thing. And for Jeff Jarrett to say 2016 was embarrassment, or whatever he said, I don't know what the quote was. I read it online. Maybe the quote's wrong. Maybe he really didn't say that. I mean, I can't even believe he said something like that. Like 2016 was kind of embarrassing or embarrassment. I got to look it up. Be good if I looked up that, huh? But someone tweeted it, and it just caught me in the eye. Maybe Jeff didn't say that. I can't believe Jeff would say it. For anybody to call it, I'll say that Jeff didn't say it since I don't really know. But for anybody to call it 2016 an embarrassment is delusional, is beyond delusional. Maybe it's an embarrassment to them. But right now, this sucks. And the bottom line is, I don't like it because it's personal. Matt Hardy, and they poured their heart into this thing. And I get that it's not right in the past for WWE maybe to have kept gimmicks from people, but it's not that personal. That was business. You had a name, you brought a name here, you used it here, that's it. It's not, it's just, it's more black and white. This is not, there's a huge gray area here of somebody assisting somebody, of a company going out of business, of people not being paid, of crews not being able to film. And for somebody like Hardy to either put up his own money or do his own thing or whatever it was that he did is a different level. So this is a different level of fuckery as far as I'm concerned. It's a different level of scum from TNA, Impact, and Ed Norholm or whoever. Now, if Ed Norholm wants to come on my show or come on the show and talk to us about what's going on, if Matt Hardy, if anybody wants to come on, we'll do it. We'll figure out a way. I'm happy to have anybody here on the show that we can get and try to square this away the right way or try to figure out what the fuck is going on. Because right now, this sucks, dude. The fans are pissed. I'm pissed. And here's the thing. We know Matt Hardy's a great wrestler. We know the Hardy Boys are great. Hell, when I was 17 years old, they were doing the TLC match. Okay? I grew up watching these. I appreciate the shit. And I never said that. I never got to say this to them really when I met them, other than like, a couple, hey, how you doing? But I wish I could I wish I could go back real quick just to say thank you and shake Jeff and Matt's hand for all the sacrifice they gave us, for the entertainment they gave us, and what they did. Now, it's no secret that Jeff Hardy always kind of achieved that sort of that spotlight status. They saw him as like the Shawn Michaels of the group. Matt Hardy is not a Jannetty. Matt Hardy is another level than that. But Matt Hardy didn't always have that character. Jeff Hardy did a pretty good job of making his character a little bit better, and then doing the Willow stuff. That was a different side of Jeff that was like, wow, he can do this. But what Matt Hardy did with the broken gimmick, what Matt Hardy did with this character, I mean, dude, I'm not sucking ass. Like, this is because when he first started it, I questioned it. You guys can still go up, look up the video. The first time with that piano scene, the first time he did it, sort of, and I saw that, I kind of went, I questioned it. I even said, man, this might be the end of his career if this don't work. People said stuff like that. But after a couple more days, it was like, man, you know what? This is fucking genius. And then it became, this is great, this is good. Then it became must-see TV. How many times, how many people have become must-see TV? Not since Daniel Bryan, for me, have I been like, I have to see what happens with this person. But this character is larger than life that Matt created. Or whoever. I don't know what the deal is. But, dude, this is larger than life. And the fact that he pulled off this character, for me, is amazing. This has, like, been the funnest character since, I don't know, well, The Rock. I mean, like, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker. Throw your John Cena in there, if you liked him a lot. But coming up next, because there hasn't been a character like this anywhere. Jericho's Jericho, cool. Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens, fight, yeah. Daniel Bryan had the yes thing, the yes movement and all that stuff. But this is a character. We haven't seen something like this in so long, and it was executed so perfectly and beautifully, and it was must-see TV. I was so lucky that I got to commentate a match with the Hardys at Top Rope Promotions. I couldn't believe it. Not only did I get to commentate a match, but in my opinion, I got to commentate a match when Matt Hardy was on the highest game he's ever been on, creative-wise. You know what I mean? Physically, maybe not in the same condition 10 years ago, like as far as his body, but he still does well in the ring. But the character is so larger than life. Everything he does in the ring means 10 times more because what his character brings. So he doesn't have to do stuff. But the matches were good still. The match that the Hardys had was good at Top Rope Promotions, and that's incredible. And I mean both the guys. And it's just, fans are robbed. And I know that I've been ranting and raving on this now for way longer than I was supposed to go. This wasn't even supposed to be about the Hardys, but I just got that DM from Matt with the picture of the owl, and it just set me off. I guess I don't know. I can't read what he said because I don't know what I'm supposed to say and not, so I won't say anything. But Rip Rogers just tweeted out, people getting upset about a dive. Hell, I'm trying to remember my pants are zipped up. Oh, my God. Ryback is in the news again. Ryback doesn't understand WWE's India push because they don't have any fucking money, he says. Or something like that. I don't know. That's according to this article by Bill Handstock. Somebody else, another article about Ryback saying that they don't know what the hell they're doing because of the indie guys. In indie wrestling. Yeah, this is really weird because Shane Helms I gotta respond to this. I hope he's addressing me. Hold on a second. hope he's addressing me. Take it up. So Rip Rogers tweeted this out about, I don't know, people talking about dive, and then Rip Rogers said he was going to take his pants off, and then out of nowhere Hurricane Helms, or Gregory Shane Helms, said, "Who are you addressing here?" And I have no idea who anyone's addressing here, so I just said hell, I want to see it, you know. I don't know what to say. Ryback, back in tonight's indie show I was attending, someone tweeted his status. I guess he blocked them so I can't see the status. I can't see what they tweeted me because I'm blocked by Ryback. But I understand that Ryback's talking a crazy amount of shit and people are getting pissed off. I like how Ryback got mad at me for making a joke, but there's people out there just ripping him to shit and he don't care. I don't know. He keeps saying dumb fucking shit. I mean, I don't know. He's in the news though, so maybe that's the goal. Maybe his goal is to be like, say anything so people will pay attention. I don't know. Like, if people stop paying attention to him and he started saying a bunch of stuff, maybe the next thing Ryback will say is like, I'm thinking about the next time I go in the ring, I'm thinking about taking my dick out, you know. Like, and then it's like, then it would be like Ryback wants to expose himself at live indie event, you know. There we go, got in the ratings again. I mean, he wants to kill me basically over a tweet that was a joke. I tweeted many jokes about him. He wanted gold. I tweeted out that he wanted gold bars and a cake to come on my show. You know, since we were never going to get him, I was like, well, he wants gold bars and a cake. He never, notice he only picked the one that was the most realistic, which was like the $2,000 thing. Unbelievable. Honestly, I just got sick of people asking me, can you get Ryback on the show? Can you get Ryback on the show? Can you get Ryback on the show? Okay, producers, can you guys get Ryback for me? No, Joe, it's too much money, or he didn't respond, or whatever, multiple different things said to me. Okay, well, I guess we're not getting Ryback. Hey, get Ryback on the show. And then I tell people, hey, he's not going to come on the show. Hey, get Ryback on the show. Hey, get Ryback. Yeah, why don't you get Ryback on the show for a blowjob and a fucking casket? He'll do that. Yeah, for $1 million. And then you tweet out something like, yeah, he'll come on the show for $2,000. Better start saving up. And the tweet was something like that. It was like $2,000, so start saving, mofo, or something like that. And then for him to make a video, be like, this guy's saying I want $2,000. No, I didn't. I really wasn't saying that. It was a sarcastic joke, and you took it seriously. Then I tried to apologize at WrestleCon, and then everyone freaked out about that. I did apologize. He accepted the apology. I have no idea what to make of him. I have no clue. It's like weird. I like Ryback. I don't want him to kill me, I don't want that to happen. I just don't want him to misunderstand what's going on. That's all. I don't care about if he doesn't like me or if he blocks me or whatever the hell. I just wanted him to know I did not mean it that way. Do you understand? And that's why I went up to him. And I don't think I conveyed that to him either. I talked about the other stuff. Anyway, let's I always go back to this just because he drives me nuts. Because he shits on everyone. He says Jinder Mahal's on steroids. You know what I mean? Imagine if someone said he was on steroids. He would fucking flip out. He would start breaking shit, dude. This guy would start ripping shit apart. You know what I mean? He just talks shit about the indies. He talks shit about this. He talks shit about fucking everybody. New Japan Pro Wrestling won't even let him work there because he talks so much shit. They don't like him. They won't let. Apparently, they won't let. According on his podcast, they won't let him work in New Japan Wrestling. And then, according to people that I've heard from, they won't. They laugh. They were like, "We won't. No way. We won't bring him over here." Because I was like, "Man, Ryback would be great for New Japan. He'd probably do well over there." And then I found out, oh no. It's like it's just what he does, man. He shits on everybody. He could have come on my show with I have, 1 million views a month? He could have came on my show, dropped a bomb on something like he does on his podcast, plugged his stuff, and gotten a whole lot more listeners, and appeared cool. But instead he appears like a delusional nincompoop. I don't know why. Says Jinder Mahal's on steroids. I mean, lots of people think that and say that, but I just feel like it's a double standard. If someone said that about him, he might choke someone out. You know what I mean? I'm probably going to run into Ryback at some wrestling shows because I'm going to be doing commentary for a lot of shows coming up. Northeast Wrestling and some other places I'll be at just to watch the shows. And then I'll be doing commentary for some other places that are going to have Ryback. So hopefully he doesn't kill me. I mean, maybe I'll get to apologize to him again. I mean, I'll tell him what I said here. I'll tell him what I said. I'm not afraid to tell him, you know, what I talk about here. I mean that. It's the perspective of people, what they're getting of him. So he talks about doing good and, you know what I mean, don't do dumb shit and don't be a shithead and stuff like that. I don't want to be a shithead, but how can I not be a shithead when other people are shitheads to me? When I didn't fucking do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't get you on the show. You know? It's not like I'm sitting here. I'm not a fucking journalist. I'm a pundit, comedian, radio podcast. And I talk shit. Because I can. If you talk shit about me, I'm going to talk shit about other people. You know? What the fuck is the use in blocking me and then talking shit about me when you don't even know what you're talking about? There's no tweet that goes out to me, right? Like a normal person would tweet and say, hey, why did you say that I wanted $2,000? And then my response would have been, well, that was a joke. You know, I heard you wanted a lot of money for the show. We couldn't afford you. So I've been tweeting out, you know, when people ask me to get you on the show, I tell them that, you know, I need $1 million or $2,000 is, you know, sarcastically, you know what I mean? Because we're never going to get you on the show. You know, most people would understand that. Like if somebody was like, I've done it with Ric Flair before. Somebody was like, hey, can you get Ric Flair on the show? I was like, ha, that's funny. I was like, you got 10 grand? Because I don't know what he costs, but I'm guessing it's some crazy amount. You know? I think one time I said like 10 grand in a hooker. It's like, do I think that Ric Flair really is going to ask for a hooker? No. That's a joke. Get it? But, you know, I guess some people don't get it. So then it would have gone like, oh, that's a joke. This is what happened. And then, you know, Ryback might have said like, okay, bro, I didn't like the idea of you saying that I like telling people that's how much I cost because it's not true. Can you retract that or can you clarify that? And then I would have said, yes. I was like, yes, sir, no problem. And I would have tweeted out, guys, my tweet about Ryback that said he wanted $2,000 or my other tweet that said he wanted 5,000 baked cakes, or my other tweet about Ryback that said he wanted $1 million, or my other tweet about Ryback that said he wanted 2 hookers and a limousine to do my show. All those tweets that I made in response to people asking me to get him on the show, those tweets were sarcastic. In no way did Ryback actually ever ask for those things. I'm sorry that some people didn't understand that it was sarcasm, but for those who did not understand, it is sarcasm and it is just a joke. We were, however, unable to get Ryback on the show due to the amount he was looking for, which I am at this time unfamiliar with how much that was and won't disclose. Blah, blah, blah. And then I would have said something like that. I would have. I wouldn't have been like, fuck you, you know what I mean? So it's easy. Step 1, the tweet he sees. Step 2, he questions me. Step 3, I make a statement clarifying it for everybody. And then Ryback would say, hey, dude, I appreciate you doing that. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? Maybe I will come do your show, and guess what? I'll do it for free. How about that? Want to just plug my podcast? And I would have said, damn, hell yeah. How about Ryback? He's an awesome guy. And then Ryback would have come on the show, and then everybody would have been like, damn, Ryback's cool as fuck. Holy shit. That's awesome. And then Ryback would have got a bunch of more listeners. He would have gotten a ton less shit. And then I would have been happy, and he would have been happy. And when we saw each other in the event, we'd be like, oh, hey, that's that Joe Cronin goofy idiot guy from the internet. He's a funny idiot, you know, whatever. And instead, he's going to be like, I want to kill him. I want to kill him. I want his 3 kids to not have a father. I want to put Joe Cronin through a fucking pit of spikes so his kids don't have a dad. I want his kids to have a dead dad. You know, so then I have to go up to you at WrestleCon, and it's all awkward and weird and shit. And it's like, see where it's gone? But it could have ended by you tweeting me. But instead of tweeting me, Ryback didn't tweet me. He just blocks me and then says all this stuff about me. But a normal person would do what I said before that. Instead, my audience fucking thinks he's a psychopath, and most people think he's an asshole. And anyway, and based on the things that he's always quoted in on the media, WrestlingInc.com, WrestleZone.com, all these other websites, all these clips, you know, people have a negative look on him, and he's doing that to himself. You know what I mean? And you know, it's not my fault over here as a comedian show, as a joke, as a comedy show, to, you know, someone to call up and do a voice of him and joke around. Like, most people understand that that's funny. The only one damaging right now is him, unfortunately. I'd tell him this. I swear to God, I'd say it to him. I wish I was working. I wish I was his fucking manager, to be honest, because this is not good. Many of the things he's doing are fucking, who is managing this guy? Because it's stupid. He's got a lot of people that love him and support him, which is great. Like, they'll blindly follow and support him. But he could have won over these other people who think he's a dick. He could have won them over. Or at least some of them over. He would have made more money. I wish that somebody would help him with this shit. And he probably, you know, whatever. I just don't get it, man. I don't get why people can't just be like, I'm sorry, here's what happened. Do you understand now? And it's like, no one understands. They just run with their own fucking idea or shit. And I don't get it. And then it's like, then you lie about stuff and make things up. And that's fine for you to do. But on my show, how dare I do that? How dare someone call my show doing a voice of him? You know? When not planned, not rehearsed. No idea. Spontaneously. But it's okay for him to wish death upon me on his thing and misrepresent me as some redneck with a beer. You know? And then called, say, Jinder Mahal's on steroids. Come on. Just watch Table for Three with Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. That is uncomfortable. They pretty much tried to bully him in that video. And I think it's got something to do with them understanding what's going on there. One thing I will agree with Ryback on, though, is, well, many things probably, but one thing definitely is these cocksuckers who put his podcast up on YouTube. Anybody who uploads Ryback's podcast on YouTube illegally is a fucking asshole. If you put a clip up to comment on the clip, that's okay. It should be okay. It may not be. You might not want to do that either. But if you put a clip up of, if you put like a 5-minute clip up that's like, you know what I mean? You title the video like Ryback's response to the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? That's a hot take that you took 5-minute clip and you put it up on YouTube. And unless you're breaking down the comments and talking about it and playing it that way, that's not fair use. If you're just putting it up there and making money off it, you're stealing. You're stealing from Ryback's show and Ryback. Ryback. I sound like Captain Kirk. Ryback. What is... Shields up, Ryback. Ryback. Shields up. Shields up, Ryback. Ryback. What's the status of the planet? Of the oxygen levels on planet Vulcan? Ryback. I'm sorry. No, seriously though, but back to Ryback. Nobody should steal his show, and nobody should be putting his show up on the internet. However, I will say, I've said this before, that it is kind of a weird line, because I actually heard about, a lot of people hear about people's shows from YouTube. So eventually you hear a little bit of it, and eventually you go, I want to hear the whole goddamn thing. So you find it. So it's weird, like, if you kill all that, you're sort of taking away free advertising. What I would recommend to Ryback and to, like, the podcasting people of his team, like Pat Buck and Ryback, I think Pat Buck and Ryback need to launch a YouTube page, and they should clip out hot takes on their own and put them all up themselves. That way, you know, people will still find these hot takes and find the podcast that way. But you'll also make all the money on the hot take video streams of those clips from the 1 hour, 2 hour show. You know, I mean, that's how they should do it. They should do what everyone else was doing to you, but you guys do it and make the money off it. Oh, there's not much ad revenue to be made on YouTube right now. But yeah, anybody illegally uploading his podcast is fucking out of their mind. But anybody talking about him, I mean, so what? That people are talking about you. That's a good thing, even if you suck. But I don't know, maybe someday he'll understand what happened, perhaps. But I still hear about it every day. The toddler's death thing, I talked about it the other day. I'm not talking about it. As far as I'm concerned, it's two fucking idiot parents. They could have been using lightsabers with the kids and hurt the kid that way. They could have been boxing with the kid. They could have hurt the kid. They could have been UFCing the kid. You know, whatever. I mean, I get the tie into wrestling. It's just awful. It's fucking terrible. This poor little thing and these morons that did this to her, and it was an accident. You know, I mean, this is like a dad throwing a kid up in the air and catching it, and then 1 second, oh, he drops the kid by accident. The kid's dead. You know, it's the same sort of thing, sort of, as the wrestling move. It's roughhousing that went too far. or that was misused or whatever. Sean Waltman, real quick, X-Pac, the drug charges are reportedly dropped. We knew this was going to happen. It seemed like a bogus fucking charge. It seemed like these fuckers just picked X-Pac up because of his nature, because of his previous history. They had to claim something on him in order to even take him in for questioning. And it turns out after all the testing and all the shit that they can't prove this stuff. So he was not on these drugs. So fuck you to everybody who just shit on him and jumped on the bandwagon to shit on X-Pac and Sean Waltman about, oh, he's back on the crack or the drugs or whatever the fuck. When this guy, I saw him at Top Rope Promotions less than a year ago, not that long ago, 8 months ago, I think. And motherfucker had a pot belly and was like out of shape, blew up in the ring kind of, but was a great motherfucker, had a great conversation with me in the back, was half asleep, he worked so damn hard and whatever else. He was awesome, dude. This was one of my favorite wrestlers ever to meet, was Sean Waltman. And then in 8 months, this guy is ripped. He's fucking awesome looking. He's got a way better outlook on life. He speaks better than he has since he was in wrestling. On podcasts, he used to have some trouble sort of like formulating, sentences. He's got some short-term memory things. He's doing so much better. He's way entertaining to listen to. He's traveling around doing indie dates plus doing the podcast stuff. And here he is getting basically stopped. And it's the boy who cried wolf, because they're like, yeah, sure, look at the shit we have on you. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Cleared of the fucking charges. So fuck you, everybody else that said shit about him. He's the one that created the goddamn fucking Too Sweet. How about that? Any of you Young Buck motherfuckers, any of you Bullet Club motherfuckers, any of you Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, DX loving motherfuckers that don't love X-Pac, don't you fucking dare ever do the fucking Too Sweet again in your goddamn life, because it came from the Bronco busting fucking DX chopping. I can't even fucking think of something. Well, that's it, Bronco busting. Oh, fuck it. Xbox awesome. Jinder Mahal has big pimples on his back. All right. Well, anyway, Matt Hardy changing how he's dealing with Impact. More news on that. I mean, we sort of went into a big-ass Hardy rant and Impact rant. Rolling Stone has an article which features Mojo Rawley. I don't care about that. Matt Hardy noted that he's changing the way he's dealing with Impact Wrestling and the president. A log of communications between the company and Hardy over the ownership of the broken gimmick. Norholm also included alleged 4-page excerpt from Hardy's contract with highlighted passages which stated that the company owned intellectual property after their relationship ended, as well as an email exchange, blah, 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 blah. WWE had no interest in getting involved about acquiring the gimmick. Hardy said, I believe, I wanted to move on peacefully and keep our incredibly unprofessional contract negotiations silent. Hardy wrote that on Twitter. Then he wrote, not now. Wow. I don't know what else there is here really to talk about as far as that goes. I hope that Matt Hardy, if he's listening, reaches out to me for some more stuff. I'd love to get a hold of some of this shit. I wish I could have him on, but I don't know how that would pan out with the WWE and shit. But I would, goddamn, I wish he didn't work for the WWE now, almost, because we could probably get some pretty good stuff off Matt. But I am less concerned about, I'm less concerned about scooping a story as much as I'm more concerned about his getting the gimmick and just doing what he has to do the right way. I don't care about that. I'm just going to comment on what happens when it does. And I've gone on really a long time here. Tommaso Ciampa, a little bit of an injury update. We knew that there was an injury and there was something going on. He suffered another injury during last week's WWE NXT TakeOver in Chicago match. The injury will require surgery. Ciampa is scheduled to go to Birmingham, Alabama for the operation. So there's no real word on how long he's out. I thought that would give us perspective on the length. We knew there was an injury, and now apparently there's this other injury. And that's really it, guys. Guys, I want to thank you so much for listening. Again, free audiobook for you down below. Monetize This is tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Be here for that freaking party. Thank you so much to GamesDeal.com for the Xbox remote. And again, GamesDeal.com down below. You guys will see it down there. Use that. There's tons of sales on shit. You guys are going to save a lot on certain games and things like that. So check it out. It's actually pretty freaking cool. The only reason why I picked them as a sponsor is because I thought their site was kind of cool. You guys can look it over before you do anything on it and just tell me what you think about it, and let me know if you buy anything. I'd love to hear about that. And everything I said here is my goddamn opinion. And I think it's all true. And that's the bottom line, because Joe Crow said so.